Hey everybody, this is Jenny Edenberg from Jenny Eden Coaching. I'm a certified eating psychology coach, body image mentor, speaker, and a best-selling author of the book The Body Image Blueprint, which is available on Amazon. And I want to welcome you to the third installment of Connection Injections, where I like to give people a little taste of some of the things that I love to talk about in the realm of eating psychology and body image and meal planning and eating empowerment, mindfulness, and all kinds of other fun stuff. And I have made this series as a way to create a connection injection for you, for me, for my community, and really be able to stay in touch, even if we're not in a full-on, coaching relationship. So today I wanted to talk about a little exercise that I have done in the past that I want to invite you to try as a challenge this week. So what it is it's actually really fun, but I want you to feel your fear and to go for it anyway. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose or pick 3 foods that you in your life have considered to be trigger foods. So that could be, cookies. It could be Doritos. For me, it was always peanut butter. I felt like or an ice cream. I couldn't be around those foods because I would always overeat on them. And that was my story. And I couldn't trust myself around them. And if I had one, I would eat the whole box, right? So I think you know what I'm talking about. And I want to challenge you to put those 3 foods out in front of you, okay? You don't have to buy the jumbo pack. You can buy like a little pack of chips, or you can get, a package of cookies and just take out a few, whatever it is for you. And I want you to sit with it. And if it's ice cream, it's going to melt a little bit, and that's okay. I want you to put them in front of you. And I want you to listen to your food story around these foods. Meaning, what are your beliefs around these foods? Because oftentimes we create a lot of meaning and stories around the foods themselves when it's just an energy source. And we're the ones who've created the consequences. We're the ones who've created the story, the morality around those foods. And I want you to just listen like, oh, my belief is that if I have one bite of ice cream, I'm going to gain weight. Or if I have one cookie, I will always end up eating the rest of the box of cookies, right? So whatever sort of beliefs that come up around your own story of yourself as an eater around these foods. And I want to invite you to ground yourself, in your chair. I want you to sit down with those foods in front of you. I want you to ask those questions. And then I want you to close your eyes and to recite a couple of mantras. Number 1 is I want you to say that you are in a safe space and that you are going to trust this process. That's really essential, because what happens when you're around those foods is that you're actually in a low level stress response, because there's a part of you that really doesn't trust yourself around these foods. You're so concerned about the consequences of eating these foods and trusting yourself not to binge on those foods, okay? So number 1 is I want you to let yourself know that you're safe and that there's no crisis, there's nowhere you have to go, that you're giving yourself permission to eat it, and not only just eat it, but also enjoy it. Pleasurable. Pleasurable is the operative word. Awareness and pleasure are your keys to really inviting yourself to food freedom and to revving up your metabolism, believe it or not, and to reduce the stress response and to get more into a parasympathetic response of your nervous system. The second thing I want you to do is to say out loud, or to yourself if you're not in a place where you're alone, and just say to yourself, I have abundance with these foods. I can have these foods whenever I want. I get to break up with these foods if I want to break up with them. I'm not beholden to these foods. They have no control over me. I get to decide how much I want of them and when to stop. And just keep reciting that over and over. And what you're doing is creating new stories. You're creating new neural pathways of beliefs. And there is hard, concrete evidence of you being able to create new wiring in your brain. You're actually essentially retraining your brain. And you're going to have a sense of safety around these foods. And because for a very long time, we don't feel safe, and so much so that we can't even have them around us. But what if we were to change that story and to invite them into our environment and to say, they can be here, I can coexist with you because I can have this whenever I want. And when you start to believe that, to really believe that, and to get out of scarcity mindset around food, false scarcity, right? Because oftentimes we're the ones creating the diet, which creates the scarcity. It's not real scarcity. then we can start to trust ourselves around these foods again, and there's less of a desire and a calling for you to eat these foods. Make no mistake that when we're restricting ourselves of these particular foods or moralizing these foods, they actually become bigger. They're more energetic in our brains than they actually are. And so let's demystify all that. Let's just have it there. Let's coexist and recognize that you get to decide whenever you want that you can have these foods. And because of that, it will become less alluring to you. It will become less naughty if you decide to have them. And it will become more of like a nonchalant type of thing. Like, okay, you're here. If I want you, I will have you. And if I don't, I won't. But you need to be exposed to them in order to bring about that trust, right? So again, recite the mantras, have those 3 foods in front of you. Try this as an experiment. You may overeat the first couple of times you try this, and that's okay. It's it's an experiment. And over time, you can create more safety and more of a sense of, it's here, whatever. That's how I am with peanut butter. So I used to not be able to have peanut butter around. And now if I want a spoonful of peanut butter, I have it, but I'm not called to it anymore nearly as much, if at all. And so I often say hey, peanut butter, I get to break up with you. You're not breaking up with me. And I'm not preventing anything. You can be here, I can be here. We can share the same space, but you're no longer going to control me, and I'm going to trust myself. And this is what you can do too. So let me know how this goes. I hope this was a fun connection injection. And if you want more, of course, reach out to me anytime by visiting my website, www.jennyedencoaching.com. And let's stay in touch. You can join my Facebook group, Wellness Warriors, and I'm going to have this video up on YouTube really soon. Maybe you're even watching it from YouTube. And as always, please feel free to share this series for anyone that you know who needs a little bit of a connection injection. All right, guys, have a great day. Let me know how the exercise goes. Bye.